Hi. Time for another sharing. And so, yeah, there's always something happening, like psychology wise. And I just want to share a recent process um, that has been so illuminating. It's been very rapid as well. So it's kind of like, the whole of the experience is all encapsulated in, a very small bubble. It's not withstanding that there's not going to be more, but definitely I'm talking, you know, experience, the sense of feeling wounded and awakening and transcendence. It's all just sort of been very rapid over the space of a couple of days. So, and I hope you can hear me okay. There's like cicadas. We call them cicadas in Australia, not cicadas. But yeah, it's cicada season, which only happens kind of, I don't know, it doesn't happen every single year in the summer, but this summer we've got cicadas everywhere and they're loud. Yeah, but I'm sure you can hear me. So the story is, I've through a whole bunch of, like really opening my heart and creative expression, I cracked open the sense of, this rejected self that I'd been working on for quite a while. Like, it was a whole month or so of just, really intense processing. And it was hard work, like there was a lot of, the lows were very, very painful. It was a difficult process to move through. But, I persisted and got out the other side. And so what I felt from it, and it wasn't like I sort of made it happen, but obviously what happened, like the clicking point was when I expressed the poem of, it's called the dirge of an avatar, and and I expressed that, and it was just this beautiful flow of, love and creativity and just all of the rays, all of the God rays just flowing straight through my being. And it was just what I needed to help me rise up to a higher level and a higher level of awakening. And so as I began to just sort of, go back and study some teachings to reflect on, okay, what's gone on here, I realized, oh, there was like an energetic opening, like a greater opening in my heart, because the heart has 12 valves or petals, the actual chakra in which, all of the rays are being expressed through the heart. And through the traumas we experience, we close off these valves, one by one. And to have all of them closed off, you'd have to, yeah, I couldn't imagine what that would feel like. So I think anyone on the spiritual path, like, I'm not saying I have all of these valves open. I don't know, to be honest. But I know I've definitely had some closed off. And what I can feel from this experience is just, it's an energetic, it's just a feeling. It's like, oh, I feel a greater flow of love flowing through me than I have known since forever. Like, like since in this lifetime, it hasn't been that way. So it's a very, very significant shift and change. So, I acted on an impulse to express more love, like, very, very openly with people. And, when you put yourself out there, you're putting yourself out there and you're opening yourself up to potential rejection and attacks. It's just the way it is, It's just the way it is, Some people are just so closed down and caught up in their traumas and feeling so rotten about themselves that, yeah, they act that out and they project that outwards. And so anyway, yeah, I experienced one of those, I'll just put bunny ears there, attacks, it was just a very negative message in response to, a pure flow of love from myself. and it hurt. It really hurt. And and I just sort of went through these ways. It wasn't as intense as the rejected self experience, but it was, I just felt like a little child, like, when I was very small, and when, I just found the world a bit overwhelming, and people's lower vibrations being projected out, whether they meant it or not, and it hurt, and I just felt like a little child again, just feeling like my heart was hurt. And um, then an impulse came through which was like, I just, I felt like I didn't, I understand that when people do something like an attack, that I understand, theoretically and intellectually from all of the teachings I've studied, that it is not personal, it's not a personal thing. So, how it is when we understand these things. But then I put out a post for some support because, and some perspectives on this, because I realize that I know that it's not personal, but it feels personal, like, it hurts. And so I just put myself out there in all openness and honesty for some support with other spiritual students on an online group. And that's typing, by the way. And I received a whole bunch of insights and answers, and I just allowed myself to be open and with the experience. And it was kind of funny, but then two of the people, women, they came from a very loving and compassionate perspective, which was kind of like just saying, maybe you just need to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling right now, and you don't have to know all of this. Like, have a bit of compassion for that hurt little child, or, maybe you do want to stand up for yourself. It was just basically it was love. It was love being expressed, telling me it's okay for me to love myself. And I realized, yeah, I can. It's okay. It's okay to love. It's okay to love myself. Like, I don't have to be perfect. It's okay to sort of go into that experience of feeling the wound, of feeling the sadness. And so I just allowed myself that. I allowed myself to just be like, to nurture myself and to express that in whatever way I wanted to express it, maybe with tears, maybe I was just talking quietly with some people about it and just expressing how it felt. And it just sort of had this beautiful magic effect, because, the following morning, this has all happened in a very short space of time, like, maybe 48 hours. And in a very short space of time, I woke up the next morning and I just realized, well, at this point, I see I have two choices. I can stick with feeling hurt and the fear of, if I let that love flow again, I might be attacked, because it might happen again. Nothing I can do about it. Or, and that would mean, that valve that's opened up in my heart, that would shut off again. And my other option is to just continue to enjoy letting the love flow through me, and sharing that experience with others in whatever way it comes. It's not the mind, it's just a flow. And I'm loving the feeling of the love flowing through me. And of course, the choice, the decision, it's very easy, just to continue allowing that, and to allow it to become more and greater, just to let the flow of love and the rays to come through me, to be expressed through me in whatever way I feel the impulse for that to be expressed. And that includes just talking here and now, like openly and honestly about this experience. And you know, I hope that, you know, maybe there's something in here that might have a little message for you, like to confirm, like, you know, we don't have to be perfect. And in fact, acknowledging our imperfection and our feelings and our thoughts, and, you know, acknowledging all of this and allowing ourselves to express it. Because if we don't express it, where is it going to be? It's going to be locked up in our energy system. You know, we need to let the pain, the wounding, like everything, you know, the thoughts, the psychological sort of thoughts of it all, we need to let it flow in order to move through a healing process, you know, and to open ourselves up to a higher flow, you know, open ourselves up to our own innocence. Because it's with that innocence, and that's how we can accelerate on the process, you know, to move faster and right through the process. Because there's the fourth ray, which I now accept that this is my ray. It's a real strength, and it has been also one of the biggest woundings for me as well. It's something I've really fought. The fourth ray, and I've never quite been able to sort of, what's the word, rationalize this, but it can be described as a ray of purity and also acceleration. And, you know, I was like, because, you know, acceleration feels like, yeah, you know, we're moving forward, and purity feels like, you know, it's a sweet little childlike angel, and how is that acceleration? And now I'm seeing that it's the same thing. Like, you know, when you have polluted water, you purify it by boiling it, you know, by increasing the vibration rate. That's purifying. And so it increases, and all the impurities are released through the steam. And then what you're left with is this pure vibration of beautiful water in the pot. And that's all we're doing when we purify ourselves, when we're going to this space of purity, you know. It's the innocence, it's the purity, because that's acceleration, that's moving forward. It's not sort of something, you know, where you push. And that's, I think, was what I was playing out for quite a long time. You know, I'm kind of like pushing forward and expecting, you know, everyone else should be doing this too. You should be pushing real hard and moving forward as well. And you know, it's not that. It's not that. It's an innocence. It's a childlikeness. It's the openness to, you know, move onwards and forwards and faster, and, you know, just let all of those impurities, they'll just drop away as we move forwards. So with that, I thank you for listening, and bless you, and bless me, and bless everybody. What a beautiful world it is. Okay. Mwah.